Hi, it's time to go. It's time to pack. So I thought I'd let you pack with me. This is my 4th trip overseas. I do 6 to 8 weeks traveling every time, and I think I've got it right, finally. First trip I went overseas, I hit Paris and I'd taken, the suitcase with everything you're never going to use in it, got through the gates trying to get through the station, the railway station out of Charles de Gaulle, and smashed these gates. Bloody well broke my bag before I even got started. I've downsized to my backpack. My backpack is named Tripi, and after Tripitaka in Monkey, and we travel the world together. This is our 4th trip heading overseas for 7-week-long trips where I take 7 to 8 kilos. I've just had to make that decision today. I can only take 7 kilos on board with me for the big flight across the 22 hours, the 13 and 8 hours, hour break in the middle. But I'm going to actually check it in so that I can take an extra kilo, because every other flight that I'm doing is 8 kilos that I can take on board, and that 1 kilo makes a massive difference when you're traveling light. So I will check my luggage in and I'll take a little bit extra on board with me. So let's get started. I start with my clothes, the easiest place to start. I'm in Victoria in Melbourne. It's fucking freezing here at the moment. So when I get to the airport and I'm there for 3 hours, I'm going to need to have a jumper on. So I'm taking a disposable jumper that I can throw away either on the plane or when I get there, because when I hit Europe, it's going to be 30s to mid 30s. We're in the middle of a heat wave at the moment. We're on the tail end of it. So I'm hoping it cools down as I keep traveling. But I arrive in Vienna, so I'm not going to need a jumper for the rest of the trip. I'm also going to wear larger jeans that are a little bit too big for me, and I'm going to throw them away when I get to the destination as well. I'm doing that because I can fit compression socks on underneath them, and I usually wear straight legs, and I can't wear the socks and my straight legs. So these are an old pair of jeans that I can turf out as well when I get to my destination. I've got new runners to take, because I'm on my feet all the time. I love to walk about 20 kilometres a day everywhere that I go, every day that I'm away. So that's 50 days at 20 kilometres a day. Yeah, I do a lot of walking. I have orthotics that I've put into these new shoes. Now, I don't know how my personal orthotics are going to go in here. So I've also packed the soft inserts that came in the shoes, just in case I need to swap them over. I will also take some slippers on board, because naturally don't want to wear the heavy shoes once I'm on the plane, but I don't want to carry them in my bag either because they're too heavy. So that'll go in my on-deck pack. So my clothes consist of, I like to wear my straight leg jeans. So I've got 2 pairs that I'll take with me. I've got a pair of Bali pants that are loose and for really hot days. They're saying in Istanbul at the moment it's 36 to 37, and I've been stuck in Vegas when it was 46 every day, and you couldn't go out during the day. You had to wait till night time because you're just fried on the footpath. So I'm a little bit prepared for that. I've been op shopping and I've bought myself some really light tops so that I can have a variety of things to wear. So I've got I've got lining tops that I wear underneath. Majority of these I've tried to get cotton. A couple are polyester, but they're big and loose fitting, because again, we're in the heat. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tops here, which is like a week's worth of clothes, so that I don't get bored with myself. I'm not really big on taking selfies, so it's not really about for the photos, but I can get very bored myself. I like to wear linings underneath my tops because I've got all sorts of rolls and hangovers, so that just stops tops clinging to me and makes me feel better about myself. Got a white one and a black one. These are 3/4 pants, so these are equivalent to my shorts. In Australia, we really like black a lot. I've got a bather top, and I've got my sports leggings, which double as my bathers. So no matter what, I'm not big on water, but if it is really hot, I just may jump in. In Australia, I wait till it's 40 degrees, then I jump in. And I'm also taking a really light scarf because I am going to Istanbul, and if I go into mosques, I want to be able to wear a scarf. It also doubles as a sun protector sometimes as well, or if we're a bit chilly, you can wrap it around yourself and it just stops the wind getting to you. I pile them all up on top of themselves and then I roll. So I've always rolled. After that first trip, I put everything into a roll and that sees me through and goes into my bag nicely. This time I'm actually got a little belt to put around it. And I'm doing that simply because if I'm at the airport and for some unknown reason they want me to empty my bag, I can do so without too much problem. So that's my roll of clothes, and that will get me through the next 7 weeks. I've got a week's worth of tops, a few pairs of pants to choose between, and that'll do me very nicely. So that's the first thing I put into the bottom of my backpack. Now my backpack actually has a 2-inch drop on it that I can unzip, but we are constrained by the size of the backpack. So I really hardly ever use that drop. I'll stay within the cabin size measures that I need. Next I'm going to pack, I take a tin cup with me. This doubles, I'm staying this time a lot in bookings in hotels. So I used to stay Airbnb all the time. Airbnb's become ridiculously expensive. So booking.com has comparative prices. I did better with a lot of hotel type bookings, but in that I lose out with kitchenettes sometimes. So I've got a mixture of both. I only tend to go about a week before I'm in a place that's got a washing machine and a kitchen. So I can spend a week having some food and doing my washing. In the meantime, I hand wash as I go. So I take this big cup and I've packed a knife, just a bread and butter knife, a fork and a big spoon, because this will double up if I get some cereal. Quite a lot of the hotels have bar size fridges and they'll have cup of tea making stuff. So I can get cereal and keep a box of cereal and keep some, long life milk in the fridge. And I can have cereal, use this as a bowl, use it as a cup. It comes in handy. So I will pack that. I also take a micro towel. I dye my hair, and because I'm red and I was naturally a redhead, it runs red right through. It doesn't seem to stop running. So I don't like to damage other people's towels where I'm staying. So I take my own little navy blue micro towel, and this time it might actually come in handy as a sweat swab because everyone's saying how hot it is everywhere. I will shove that in there so it takes up, I minimise space, push that down to the bottom of my bag. So that's sitting down in the bottom corner. I then have underwear. I've brought really light, a set of 3 light pants, which are really easy to wash and wear. And I've packed 7 days of underpants. I've also packed a couple of, more healthier underwear, just for cotton pants and things like that, because I like my tummy to be held nicely. But then I've also got the light wash and wears, so they're easy to travel with. So I take my underwear, so I will now stuff that in on top of the cup and the towel. I have, there's the other pair of pants, that's 7 days of pants. I've got 3 lots of socks. Unfortunately, I've still got sort of wintry socks. They're a little bit thicker than what I would like. I might grab a couple of pairs over there and chuck these out when I get there. But for now, I can't walk in runners without socks. So that's rather important now. So they're just down the side of the towel. So at the moment, my bag's half full. I'm wearing a bra and I take another bra so I can wash and wear alternatively. So that goes in there. I then take a pair of sandals because don't always want to be tied into runners. These are not conducive for long walks though, and I like to do a lot of big walks. So I'll just use these depending on how hot my feet are and if I'm not walking a lot. Maybe if I'm just sometimes while I'm traveling, I'll meet up with people in meetup groups or from on Facebook, different hostess sister, couch surfing. I'll meet up with people and have a meal or a coffee and get to know their view of the local cities. So it might be nice just to have some sandals on rather than my big enclosed runners. I then pack my jammies. A couple of places I have shared bathrooms, so it's good to have some jammies. And I tend to have them on top because I'm arriving at night time. I can get straight to my jammies when I get there and collapse for a few hours as soon as I arrive. From there, I have my hairdryer, and it sounds weird to take a hairdryer, but you can be traveling and some places won't have them. My hair is really unruly and I need a hairdryer, otherwise it'll take 3 days to dry and it frizzes. So I'm pretty big on taking my hairdryer wherever I go. And I also take a hair straightener. So yeah, my hair is naturally grey underneath these days and it's turned to fuzz. So this keeps it straight and keeps it youthful looking. So I take my straightener, which is now pushed down the side as well. So we're getting to about 3/4 full here. Now from here, all the bags stuff. This has just got makeup in it, my powder, my mirror, just the flat stuff. So that's my makeup case. And in all honesty, I hardly ever wear makeup. It's too hot, melts, and just makes you sweat. But special occasions, you just want to make yourself feel pretty. I've also packed all of, I'll leave that one till last, so I'll go with this one. I've packed converter plugs, and I take 2 in case one stuffs up. I don't want to be overseas and not being able to plug in my phone and my battery charger and that sort of stuff. So I take 2 of them. I've got some spare masks in there. I've got the knife and fork. I've got a crocheted water bottle bag. That's about the only thing I ever carry when I'm traveling. It goes over my shoulder, it's crocheted, and it holds my water bottle in it. And it tends to hold keys of where I'm staying, that sort of thing, so I'm not bulking my pockets up. I've also got some tea bags in there, and I've also got some washing soap. You don't want to get overseas and have to buy washing powder. So as I'm just doing hand washing, like underwear and bras, it's really important just to have some some clothes washing soap. So I've cut the bars up into a couple of pieces because I know I'm going to leave them behind as I go by accident, not on purpose. So that's what's in that bag, and a few extra tea bags in case I get somewhere and they haven't got the tea. I love my Yorkshire tea, really strong. So that's what's in there. And from here, I have packed my liquids bag. In my liquids bag, I've packed all my fish oil. I've got arthritis, so I take 2 fish oil a day. These are really hard to buy overseas, so it's just easier to pack 50 days of tablets and take them with me. I also take vitamin C and iron tablets, so I've got 50 of those. I've got some painkillers just in case I get a headache or I hurt myself or my feet are killing me. Not a lot, but just enough to do the trip. I've packed some earbuds, I've packed razors and some tissues in that one. So that'll go in. I've also, in my liquid bags, along with my fish oil, I have some hair conditioner and hair shampoo from home, because you'll get overseas, you won't be able to read the bottles, you won't know what's in what. My hair reacts to all different sorts of things. So, and this time I'm actually taking hair dye because I need to dye in about 4 weeks' time. And I just like to feel good about myself, so I'm taking my hair dye this time. I've got my liquid makeup in there, mascara and whole cover, as in when you've got face sores, some cover. I've got some Canastin in case I get thrush, because with the heat, and sometimes if it's going to be really hot. I've got extra toothpaste, and I've got my Savlon, which I swear by. So that's my liquids bag, all in little bags inside, and then in a bigger bag on the outside. And they may ask me to pull that out at the airport so they can check what's in it. And that's pretty much everything that's going to go into this. Now, when I do top it off, and I'm not going to take the hand luggage that I'm actually going to take this time, I'm literally taking a little bag with my deodorant, some pawpaw cream, some moisturiser because on the aeroplane you dry out, my day's tablets for the 24 hours that I'm on the plane, some tooth floss, my toothbrush, and hand sanitizer because we all know about COVID, so trying to do that. That would be going in here if I wasn't doing an extra bag. I've got some earplugs just to shut out noise. I've only used earplugs a couple of times, but there are those couple of times that you do need them, so they do come in handy. I have shut out the lights, so I've got my eye mask. I have my compression socks because we're older and don't want to be having a stroke or heart attack or get deep vein thrombosis. And then I have my cords, I have my headphones, earphones. I can't do the bud things because I'd lose them, they're too small, I'm useless. I need to have cords attached to me. And I've got 2 charger cords just in case one stops working, you need a backup. I have some face wipes to take on. I've got my glasses, wiper, and I've got my backup pack, battery pack for traveling. The only other thing I was tossing up whether to take or not is my windbreaker, because I don't take any jumpers. Not that I'm concerned. If I was going somewhere cold or it got cold, I would go to the op shop and buy a jumper, or go to a cheap store and buy a jumper, something I could dispose along the way. So I'm sort of tossing up whether to throw that into the top of the bag. But as you can see, I've actually come into requirement size here. I meet the 58 by 30 by 28 or whatever it is centimetre restrictions. So Tripi is now packed for me to take off for 7 weeks overseas. So that's pretty exciting. I have my hairbrush. I have my passport, which I'm going to have to keep in my carry-on bag. And my carry-on bag is a silk bag that I can roll back up and put in my main bag later. When I travel, I really try not to carry anything. I don't wear any jewellery. I don't want to be a target to anybody. I try to be really conspicuous, and I very much carry that crochet bag with my water bottle in it. That's pretty much what I take everywhere. But I'll be taking this time to put my onboard stuff in. And usually I would put my passport in this side pocket in here. And I would also store, I have printed out, because if your phone dies or if you lose your phone or if it gets stolen, I don't know about you, I don't remember one person's phone number. I don't know my mum's, my children's, I don't know anyone's phone numbers. And I don't know where I'm going. I actually got robbed in Barcelona back in 2018, and they took, thankfully, just my bag with my hair dryer and hair straightener in it and makeup and that sort of stuff, but it also had my phone charger in it. So by the time I got to, I knew vaguely where I was going. By the time I got there, my battery was flat and I didn't know where my accommodation was. And I showed up at Starbucks, and no one had any chargers, but they sent me to a store to buy a charger, and then I was literally staying across the road. I don't want that to happen again. I've printed out just on 2 pages everywhere I'm going, all my booking, addresses, all my flight numbers. So if anything happens to the phone, I've also got my insurance policy number, phone numbers of family and friends back at home. I have loaded up Skype so I can make phone calls home. I don't get internet while I'm traveling. I'll just bunk off of wherever I'm staying and Starbucks and McDonald's as I travel. So I keep a hard copy, which is really important, which I haven't put in at the moment, but I will put in around this side pocket right now because it comes with that, and that can just go away and I can pull it out if I ever need it. I'm not going to take my beautiful purse that I bought in Carcassonne because it's too bulky and I have no need for it. I have converted my money, so I've got all my euros and the Australian dollar is worthless apparently compared to my last trip. I've still got some home money so that I can get stuff at the airport when I'm stuck at the airports, and I've got my euros. I can change those over. This is my full budget. I budget at 25 to 30 euros a day spending money. So I have that because money stays the value of money. Anything you put on your cards or through your cards depreciates and everyone takes a slice out of it. I do take my driver's license, and I do take 3 credit cards. I've had credit cards being eaten. I've had cards that don't work in certain countries. So I take 3 as a backup. I will hide these wherever I'm staying in my accommodation. And I take 1 debit card to draw money out of my account if I need it. I'm hoping I don't need it. I hope I don't go over my budget. So I do take those, but I will carefully hide those wherever I'm staying. And whenever I go out every day, I only take, you know, like I said, 25 euros. I'll fold up into a small square and keep in my bra, and I'll keep my credit card in the other side of my bra, because you've got to get up close and personal if you want to rob me. So they stay with me wherever I go. So that just leaves my silk bag to be packed with what I told you. So that'll go in there, and I'll take that on board with me, and I'll grab a few munchies to save paying for stuff on the flight, because everything costs a fucking fortune on there. So at the end of that, and I'm still, okay, let's say I take the windbreaker. It would pop in there nicely. It's not a biggie, it doesn't weigh that much. Now the test, how much have I come in at? I bought one of these little doodaddies that weighs your bag, and it's really cool. So if I'm right when I leave, I really don't need to take this anywhere else with me. I don't shop, I don't buy things. I'm really good like that, because it costs me everything I've got to go traveling. So I just don't spend any extra. So I can now weigh my bag and see what it comes in at. Okay, it's coming at 8.2 kilos. So I've got a little bit too much in there, and I'm going to have to kill a kilo. So the raincoat, all of a sudden, my windbreaker is coming out, and I will work my way through that. But it looks like maybe a pair of jeans will have to come out, and a couple of tops. So that's why it's really good to have one of these and not get stuck at the airport and find out you've got to pull stuff out of your bag. So I'll do that next. But either way, I overpacked with the tops. I've got a little bit of room in there, and I can make that adjustment. Hope this was helpful for you if you're planning on packing and taking off overseas. You really don't need any more than a 7 kilo backpack. And I've just got to lose 1 more kilo out of this. Doesn't seem to matter that I've lost 10 kilos off of this. Doesn't make it up for the bag. I don't know why that doesn't work. Why don't we get bonuses for what size we are or how much weight we've lost? Catch you on the next video. I'll be in Vienna by then.